there. Comedy Mushroom Cole Podcast. I try not to be excited every time that things seem to be working right out the chute, but like I feel it's always exciting when it happens. And like I got the fucking light going at the right time. We've got the incense burning. We got it seems like a good volume right off the rip. I mean that's something that's easily fixed, so I don't know why I really ever worry about it. But the computer seems to be working and keeping up. I don't know. We're kind of, everything's rolling. Like I'm gonna figure out that I forgot to hit record on the camera. So like that's gonna be annoying and it's gonna eat away at me. But like fuck it, right? Like we're not gonna fix it. Under 1 minute, already got the fuck in. That's good. We're just gonna keep track of this. Somebody get like a website put together on what episodes actually make it to the 5-minute fuck mark. Which coincidentally, the 5-minute fuck mark is what we're all going for. That would just be an incredible average to hit at certain points. Not like I can't do it regularly. We're not like admitting to anything with that, but I mean, like there's certain times in anybody's career where they hope they have the stamina to make it 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like shit like that happens. But no, welcome. I don't know. What the fuck? My voice has been getting real fucking easily parched lately, and I don't know what the deal is. I seem to be mostly hydrated, but it's not going. Checking in on the cats. It is sunny time. Only podcast in the world telling you to set a cop on fire in a sweater and sunglasses. Maybe there's more podcasts doing that, but it's the only one that I know of because it's the only podcast not worried about being successful ever. But no, that's good. Just in case anybody was wondering, yes, on the video, the flag is now upside down. That is a sign that we are under attack and under occupation. So that's what's going on. But it's not time for the Hitler update, Hitler watch. Which, if this was a professional podcast, we would have some sort of graphic for Hitler watch. Or like that would be like our segment that we could like put out on social media. But like, fuck it, I don't know. Like why would I want to put Hitler watch out there? I mean, it's already bad enough that we're doing this and talking. I mean, it's not like we're gonna get pulled away now or maybe anytime soon. They still have to like kind of pretend. They're not, but they need to still kind of pretend that it's a real thing. I mean, fuck, apparently they even won over Travis Kelce, so shout out Taylor Swift and her crew for constantly just kind of, like, just not stepping up. I mean, there's that video of her, like, that's obviously, like, a whole setup thing of her, like, talking to her dad about coming out against Trump and alienating some of her fans and shit like that, and she's like, no, it's important, and, like, how important is it? Billionaire Taylor Swift. I'm sure you could afford to pay to at least try to have him killed. Like, at least the CIA tried. What are you doing? You have enough money to take over an African country at least. And, I mean, I bet you could pay a decent amount of militants to do that. But fuck it, you're not going to. We're not doing Hitler Watch yet. We're awfully into it. It's very difficult to not, like, I don't know. I feel like this is my time to shine. Leading up to all this nonsense, it's fun to like make fun of it and point out what's gonna happen. But now that it's here, here's like a decent distraction or a good way to kind of digest it all coming through all the time. Like everybody, it's just very funny when you see people who are like, "This is the end of the world," and then they're like, I'm gonna start crocheting to distract myself from the end of the world. Like, why don't you go set something on fire? Why don't you go throw water on cops, like I said last week? Like, you can do shit. Like, you can actively do anything, not just make Facebook statuses. Like, I made a Facebook status today asking for anybody knowing if they have a criminal defense lawyer that can work in Chicago because of things that are coming up. in Hitler Watch. But it's not time for Hitler Watch yet. We're gonna lead up to that. We want people to have fun, and then you can tune out. We're doing a little bit of it, a little bit for me, a little bit for you. Whether you want to change the world or not, I'm going to keep telling you what's going on out there. And that's up to you. I mean, I know everything doesn't need to be politics or whatever you fucking idiots on the right keep saying. Everything is politics, especially when you make everything politics. Like, not everything needs to be politics. Okay, so why are they banning transgender people from college sports? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's sports aren't like a real thing. Like, oh, you want your daughter not to have to go against a transgender person? Then teach them very early that life's not fair, and sometimes you're just not physically gifted enough to beat somebody. Get better at sports. Do you think Caitlin Clark's worried about a transgender athlete? No, she's probably gonna shoot over him, you know? But whatever. Alright, let's do like a quick recap. We had a cool last minute, after we talked last week, literally maybe right after we talked last week, I got asked to go back to the home club, which used to be the Funny Stop Comedy Club in Northeast Ohio, beautiful Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. But I don't know, they're up to some shady shit, and didn't pay a friend of mine for performing, and yelled at me for not promoting when I promoted my show more than they did. They didn't even have the poster up in their club. And I know like there's people who watch this who are trying to help make sure that club keeps going. But you know what? Fuck them. You know what? They've treated artists shittily for their entire time, but at least it was like in a charming way and actually kind of made you good. But when you pull Pete shit and Pete's not around to at least be the face of it, I don't know. You're not doing it right. You're just being cheap and you don't know what you're doing. Pete was mean for a reason. You're just being mean for no reason and don't have the charm to do it. Like, sorry, you suck at running a business. That's not our fault. So I don't know, run a better business. And then, like, it's not up to us to save your fucking business. How about you advertise anywhere? But anyways, the home club now, which sucks because it's like an independent, like it's a small business and you want to see it succeed instead of some giant chain like the Improv, the Milwaukee Improv of all improvs, that took me in arms wide open and pays me well and doesn't give me shit because they know their clientele's fucking horseshit. Because it's in Brookfield, Wisconsin, and you know, the suburbs of Milwaukee is maybe the worst people in the entire world. They're so bad that a staff member, I'm not going to say who, said that on one of the shows that everybody was doing great, just the crowd was inbred, because they couldn't even like read the the menu to put in orders and wouldn't look the people in the eye. So I mean, it's that kind of place. We've rallied about how shitty Wisconsin, and especially that part of Wisconsin, is enough. You know how I feel about it, but I don't know. Had a weekend with Greg Fitzsimmons in the Milwaukee Improv, and it's you know, it's the third time I've worked with him in like 13 months or something like that. All by chance, not like by me or him choosing it, but it's nice. He's a good guy, good person. But no, like that crowd, like there were 400 people on the early show Saturday and 300 on the late show Saturday, and it was like the worst crowds of the whole weekend. And it's because it's a whole bunch of, like, I had a good set, like a real good set on Thursday. Or Friday, not Thursday. There were two shows Friday. Like the early show Friday was a fucking banger. The late show Friday sucked. I mean, it was an improv Milwaukee crowd, and I came right out Friday after the early show Friday and told them, like, we can tell when there's city people in the crowd versus suburban people in the crowd, because it's way more fun when there's city people in the crowd. And apparently they were all there on Friday, so that was fun. But I don't know, it was good to be back. Everybody who works there is great. I mean, like, the clientele fucking blows. There's nothing you can do about it. That's just where you're at. It's a whole bunch of people who think that the entire world is about them, and don't give a fuck about anybody other than themselves. But it's fine. I mean, that's kind of par for the course. I got to get some cheap shots in on them, like I do every time I'm in that area. I think it's fun for them to know that they aren't shit, and especially since I don't live there anymore, I don't have to acquiesce to what they want. So I take that as like, that's taking my power back. I had to live there for 4 very, very long years and deal with those shitty people for 4 very, very long years. And I don't know, it's nice being able to tell them to go fuck themselves and know that the club and the managers are all on my side. So it's very fun. What's not very fun, it ended up being very fun, and this is the last time I'll talk about it because I don't want it to be, like, they're not going to win. A couple of people messaged me after the Saturday shows because I kept making fun of Milwaukee or Wisconsin, telling them that Waukesha sucks and that they're all fat and hold Wisconsin down. You've seen the clips, and if you haven't, go check them out. Clipuary we are 7 days into Clipuary. Go see it, go support it, go share it, go like it. Each one of those should have at least 20-some likes on it, depending on when you hear this. But yeah, go through and like all of those. But no, it's just making fun of them. And a couple of people didn't like it and messaged me the exact same message. And it was like, you suck. Saw you at the MKE Improve. So they spelled improv wrong. And then said, go back to being a waitress. And then 2 people sent the exact same message. So I don't know if this person has like 2 burner accounts, or is just like, they're both fucking stupid, but spelled it wrong. And I thought it was like some weird like local bot, because like Instagram and Facebook now just like have AI characters that will interact with you on Instagram and on Facebook, because that's just, they want to keep engagement going, so they probably get people to engage with them. But like, whatever, Instagram put them in my spam filter, so I responded to the one. And again, usually you don't like respond to it or like listen to it or deal with it at all. You just like delete it and move on, which is like literally what I usually do. But since they spelled improv wrong, like they couldn't even double check to spell improv wrong, I just like messaged them back and said that you took the time to find my social media, follow me, because they followed me, then message me incorrectly, and then even after all of that, Instagram put them in my spam filter because you're that insignificant. So I thought I got them, and then I screenshotted it, put it up in my stories, and it got a ton of what's the word I'm looking for? Attention, duh. It got a ton of attention. And that's like wild, because I'm doing this stupid Clipuary thing to get back into the algos and show off my stupid clips and try to do it the right way. I'm putting fucking captions on them, I'm putting titles on the fucking video. We're doing it, you know? I'm posting a bunch. Zoltan gave me some opinion, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Advice? Como se dice? Advice? But no, like, he gave me some advice on that, so that's why we're doing the Clipuary thing. And I mean, they're getting like, it's getting dog shit views, but like the story of me sharing somebody hating on me and responding to them got like a bunch more views than I usually get in my stories. And it's like, they're just trying to sow dissent at this point. Like, we all know what it is, and that's why it's so stupid to try to take it seriously and like actually have a strategy and try to do, like, that's not our game, that's not my game. Like, I still want to, just for myself, I want to knock out Clipuary, but like, it might just be like a short-lived thing, because I'm not gonna stress about it, you know? Like, it's, if being unsuccessful on social media is what stops me from being successful, then so be it, right? Like, there's a pretty good chance that like we're gonna have to be in jail soon, or be in one of RFK's drug farms, sorry. That'd be really funny if they called it Big Farm, because he just hates, allegedly hates pharmaceutical companies, which is very funny that like the guy who's against vaccines in Big Pharma is working basically for them, because they run our government and whatnot. Well, they used to. Now the fucking orange fuck does. Not Hitler Watch yet. We're not there yet. But no, Clipuary's going fine. I'm having a good time showing all this stuff. It's getting me attention through other people's things. They also just announced the Alaska Before You Die lineup. You all know that I'm in it. T-shirts still for sale, stickers still for sale, t-shirts through the website, RayRobertsComedy.com. You can just Venmo me any denomination of $5, or any delineation, any factor of $5. And I will send you that many stickers in the mail. So if you send me $5, I'll send you one. Send me $10, I'll send you two. Send me 15, I'll send you 3. I'm running out of stickers, so if you want a commemorative sticker for the Alaska Before You Die Festival, hit me up and I'll send it out there to you. I've got some stamps, I've got some stickers, I've got some envelopes. Let's make it happen. Then you can also come to a show and shit. I was gonna have it all pulled up, but I'm in the middle of Michigan on next Saturday the 15th. I'm doing a sober show on the 22nd. We're doing Was That Good For You on the 21st again. So we got some good shows coming up, and I've got rent to pay, so make sure that you come see those. Fun life update. There's been a cup of coffee I've been chasing down, quite literally, we did the math, or slash I did the math, like 15, 16 years now. Because when I was 19, took a road trip with an ex to go see a Packers game, and on the way back home, there was family in Chicago. They have family, so we stopped and grabbed lunch with like her great aunt or some shit like that, and went to this restaurant. And it was before I was like big into coffee, so I didn't really drink it. And they like brought coffee out to like end the lunch because it was like a big city fancy coffee thing, and I was like super impressed. And it was a delicious cup of coffee, and especially at that time in my life, it was the best cup of coffee I'd ever had. And I'd been like talking about it for like a long time and trying to chase it down, and it's been like stuck in my brain, even like working in coffee. This cup of coffee was like the one that was stuck in my head. Like there's this sandwich, Junior's Chicken in New York City. I had a chicken sandwich from there once on a trip to New York. A girl dropped her salad, and then I had like another half of a sandwich, and because I'm a nice guy, I offered up my other half of the sandwich so she could eat, and then she decided that she didn't want it, so I was like instantly rewarded by the universe for that decision. And it's the best chicken sandwich I've had maybe ever. I was in high school, so I was 16 or 17, and I'm still talking about it, right? So for half of my life. Same thing with this cup of coffee. But then I had like an interview when I first moved here, so like 3-4 months ago or whatever, when I was downtown and like had this interview, went to a coffee joint around the corner, but like around the corner from this coffee joint I went to was Miller's Pub. It's an old, like a real old school Chicago place. It says it's had like the same ownership since 1935, not 2035 because we're not there yet, but said they have the same ownership and blah 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 blah. So I was like, oh, this, because it was like under a train track across from like a building, and I was like, I wonder if this is the spot. So I like looked at like the menu and everything, and I was like, this is the fucking spot. So then like we have like a note to like, we have like a keep note where we keep all the places that we need to check out in Chicago still, and added this to it instantly. Then yesterday we went to the art museum, the Art Institute, the Chicago Institute of Art, or Chicago Art Institute, which is cool. It's fun. Went and saw, like, they have like a big thing about Black, capital B, artists, because it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month, by the way. I don't know if I said that last week. I don't know if I released it in February. So happy Black History Month. Shame on me. Took me almost 19 minutes to say happy Black History Month. And you know what? We're better than that. I also like hosted the Dovetail open mic last night, and it was like 13 comics before we got to the first female comic, and I was like, other open mics will give preferential treatment to women and LGBTQIA plus members, but not this one. We want to treat them equally. It's 2025. We want to make sure they know it. So thanks for waiting till 13th. But like, so it's like the same thing. It's Black History Month, but like, it's, when's White History? No, I'm just kidding. But no, so like we went there, and then like on the way back got lunch at Miller's Pub, and I had like 5 cups of this coffee because, it was nice. It's not very often that things live up to, one, what they're supposed to be, like the Mall of America, 100% lived up to the hype. And there's so few things in this world that do that. And then like memories will play tricks on you. You know, you don't want to like assume that things are going to be just as good as they were, especially when you were like 15 years ago. When you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and like the world hasn't beaten you down. When you're like in the middle of, when you're like at the beginning actually of your alcohol abuse problem, not afterward. You know, like before just the world beats you down and takes its toll. You know, like you're like it's like the first time that I had like a really good cup of coffee, and it was in Chicago, first time in like the big city. You know, like things like that. So you're just like, oh man, it would be a real bummer if this didn't live up to it. And I'll tell you what, who cares if it's the same kind of coffee? Who cares if it still slaps? And I don't even care if it's like nostalgia or if it just lived up. It was nice that I got to like close that loop on life and go back and have this cup of coffee and enjoy it like it was the first time. It was incredible. It was great. And then like found out about Virginia McCaskey dying while in like a Chicago staple of Miller's Pub. And Virginia McCaskey is the owner of the Bears. So hopefully now they sell. We don't want her. She was 102 and a bit. Who gives a fuck, right? But like hopefully now the Bears sell and we can get like a real ownership group. But like I'm a Bears fan, whatever. But it was nice, you know, like it's full circle. The lady who our waitress, the waitress, our wait staff member of whatever sexual identity that she wanted, she was because I ordered a Diet Coke, even though I forgot that we were there for me to have this cup of coffee. We had lunch and everything too, but I was there for the cup of coffee, and I had, I ordered a Diet Coke and a cup of coffee. And she was like, do you want me to bring you like a cup of no ice so you can put your pop in there? And I was like, no, actually I'm just going to keep hammering these coffees because I forgot. And I should have asked for a to-go coffee, but at that point I didn't have enough water in the day. So I didn't need enough, like I had so many cups of that coffee. And I don't know, my body felt it later. Not like in a weird stomach way, but like, you know, when you spend a day just like drinking all coffee. I'm kind of in it now. I had a French press this morning. And that was like delicious, but like when the most that you've drank in the day is like that coffee, you spend the rest of your day hydrating as I pick up my sparkling water. That's probably why my voice was so fucked yesterday. Like it wasn't usually when I like fuck up my voice, it's like in my throat, but my mouth kept getting super dry yesterday, and I think it might have been that. But no, that was really good. So shout out to Miller's Pub, living up to expectations. It's nice. It's like a cool, like it feels very old schooly, but it's like still nice. Like they keep the mystique in there, but like they keep it. What's the word? Like, you know, when you like go into a place, her dad's coming into town. I point towards her because she's here instead of not here while I'm recording. So usually I can just like say her name, but like she's here. So if I say whatever. Her dad's coming to town, and there's like a bar that Dahmer used to go to that we're gonna take him to, and like it's like the scariest dive bar. And you look at like pictures of it, and you can it's like kind of run down. And I feel like that they like are leaning into like it being like the scariest dive bar, so like they're just letting it be shitty and like getting away with it because Dahmer used to drink there. Where this place is like 1,000 years old, but it's still nice in there. Like nothing's like fucked up. Like there's not like holes and shit. Where like a lot of those like the Billy Goat's Diner or whatever it's called, Billy Goat's Burgers or whatever the fuck that we went to. That's downtown. And like underneath like the spot, like whatever, you know where it is, the original one. Like it's just old, you know. Like they could like keep it in decent shape, but like and still keep like the old patina to it, but like it's not nice. It's old, but it's not nice. Where this is like old, like an old steakhouse where you go into it and you're like, oh, this is when people like came here to do like shady business dealings and get away from like their wives or whatever. And like meet up with their like it's one of those restaurants where like you can tell that some shit happened. Like there's like pictures of like LL Cool J on the wall and shit. So like it's like one of those like old school, like you knew that the mob liked to kick it there and get shit done. And it's still nice. Like it's not just like a shithole. So shout out them. I guess they didn't really need it, but I don't know, if you're a business that's been around for almost 100 years, and you have the best cup of coffee that I've had all year, just plain black coffee, then you deserve a shout out. So shout out Miller's Pub. If you want to sponsor this podcast, I don't know why you would. If you ever want to go out of business, you can sponsor this podcast. Next, we will do the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is this weekend. Again, we did our sports a couple weeks ago just to catch up on our palate cleanser. I feel like the Super Bowl is a good way to transfer into Hitler Watch after this. I don't even know how long this podcast is going to be because we're already, we're just flying through stuff, you know, and it's not even 30 minutes yet. So like, hey, good for us. Good for you not having to listen to this whole thing. You don't ever have to listen to this whole thing, but here we are. The Super Bowl. We've got Los Philadelphia Eagles against Los Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to both teams. The Chiefs going for their third Super Bowl in a row. Never been done before. Last team to win 3 championships in a row, I believe, was the early 2000s Lakers. Just a highly underrated team. I think we did that before, but like Shaq and Kobe should have like won 6 straight, but Shaq just decided to be fat. And I know Kobe would agree with me on this. There are not very many things that me and Kobe Bryant would agree with. I don't like traveling via helicopter. If I ever cheat on my significant other, I'll make sure, especially as a millionaire, I'll make sure that there's some sort of consensual paperwork, so there's not even a question in anybody's mind whether or not it was rape. So like there's that hanging over your head. So I don't know, like and I'm not good at basketball. Also from Philadelphia, Kobe Bryant. Good parallel there on accident. But he even called Shaq fat. And I mean, Shaq's still alive and selling gummies that are fucking bangers. If you haven't had Shaq's, I think they're called like Shaq. I don't know if they're called Shaq-a-less. Shaq Snacks? Shaq whatever. They're gummies in the shape of his face. And they're amazing. So try those. I'm not going to trust Shaq with relationship advice, parenting advice, advice on nicknames because he's got too many. But I will trust him on Papa John's. It kind of slaps. General insurance. I'll get that eventually. And then his snacks. Like I'll trust him on gummy snacks, and he fucking nailed it. But shout out him. But no, the Chiefs are going for 3 straight Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, etc., etc. Andy Reid, Father of the Year. His son drunkenly ran into somebody, and I believe that they died. Don't quote me on that. I think he got in trouble, but I think he got out of it, or was like the person was grievously injured. It was very, very bad. While he was working on the Chiefs staff, nothing came of it because they won the Super Bowl, and because it's the NFL. So, but whatever. And he wasn't a player, so like there wasn't much news on it. But I don't know. Versus Nick Sirianni, fucking Jalen Carter, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, all of them. Jalen Hurts. But no, like it's gonna be a big Super Bowl. It's very tight on like what the betting lines are and everything like that. I think I'm not picking the game. Because I don't know, it'd be cool. Like I'm not one of those like Chiefs haters who thinks that like they get every call. They get a lot of calls, and I heard it put the best way from Mike Greenberg yesterday. It's like if you're gonna beat the champ, you gotta knock him out. Like you can't leave it to the scorecard, which is true. But like also the Chiefs get like statistically, the home team gets at least half a call per game more than the other team that they're facing, like the visiting team, and the Chiefs are always at home in the playoffs because they're fucking good. So that's probably why they're getting more calls. Like they're the Chiefs, they've got the best player in the world right now, and they're always at home. So like they're going to get those calls. I don't think it's like a script. I don't think it's on purpose. I just think it is what it is. Like it was the same thing with the Patriots back in the day. Like the league was made for them to do it, and like why? If you're gonna make a team like the face of your entire business, yeah, it's nice to have like a Midwest folksy town be the one that's in charge of everything, or like being the biggest thing, because that's where like a lot of your fan bases are. But like, wouldn't you want it in New York or L.A. or Chicago or any others, Houston, like any city other than fucking Kansas City, Missouri? Like, no, you don't. That's not who you would pick. You would almost want a Philadelphia where they're like a big market, but not like really, you know? Like, that would be perfect. They're gonna fucking do it. So, I would like to see the Chiefs win their third one in a row. It's fun watching history, and it's fun watching greatness happen. And I think if they win, that's when, like, Travis Kelce retires, and, like, that'll shake up the league a lot and other stuff. But, like, Andy Reid is still be there and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens with that. I do think we'll see. If the Chiefs play defense like they did against the Bills, I think that they win this game. But the Eagles are a fucking buzzsaw right now. Saquon Barkley's doing shit I didn't even know was possible. It's nice seeing a good running game, and like that's what wins championships: a solid ground game and a defense. And the Eagles have both. You know, good hard-nosed football. And you just like it would be nice to see the Eagles win. There's really no losing on this one. I'm gonna have fun. Regardless, I'm polling for, I think, the Eagles. I'm not going to put any money on the game. We're only doing props this time. And I've been really bad at props this year. So I'm going to give out the prop bets that I did. I usually do it online. I might do that online still, too. I should have, like, updated the spreadsheet that I've been using, but I've done, like, a lot of garbage bets in the playoffs because, like, I don't know, you're just playing with money or like winning money. But through the season, I was at like 55%, which anything over 52, I think you're winning money. So like, you tell me, and my percentage, like my money was up. Last time I checked, like 9%, like 8 or 9%. Tell me if you make 8 or 9% off of your investments this year. All right, I'm a better investment than that. So like, I don't know. Pay to see me do comedy and pay me for my gambling picks. But no, these are the ones that I went with. This is all through FanDuel. They don't sponsor FanDuel. If you want to sponsor me, that'd be cool. And if you don't care about betting, that's fine. You probably don't care about most of these things. But this is the one where you're starting with tails on the coin flip. So that'll be the good sign of how things are gonna go. We're doing tails on that. For Kansas City's first touchdown, we picked that it's going to be a rushing touchdown. I feel like Kareem Hunt's going to get one. I didn't pick him for anytime touchdown, but we'll get to him. There will be a 2-point conversion attempted. I bet yes on that. 2-point conversion attempted. Whether it's the Chiefs or the Eagles, they'll need 2 points at some point. It'll probably be the Eagles because Jake Elliott fucking sucks this year. He's gonna be who loses it or wins it. It's gonna be a whole thing because he needs that. He needs that. Redemption is the word I was looking for. We got tails. We're a non-QB passing touchdown. That's the one that we need to hit. That was like plus 2,000 odds. And I put like $5 on it. So if that hits, that covers everything for the day. So if a non-QB, and this is bad luck, I need you guys to understand what I'm doing here. I'm shooting myself in the foot. You're not supposed to give out your picks. Which we're going to give out the picks. I just told you how much I put on that. We didn't put too much money on the Super Bowl. Like, it's a lot for me, but like a lot for me is over $20 to bet on something, okay? So it's not like a lot. So like if we lose every single one of these bets, I think we'll be okay. But if we hit every single one of them, it'll be a good give back on that one. But non-QB passing touchdown, that was like plus 2,000. I had to take that one, especially with like Andy Reid and like the fucking Eagles always do some sort of horse shit. Like they're known for Philly. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull that shit out, like a Saquon Barkley throwing touchdown, passing touchdown. Nobody's expecting it. So like why not pull it out? 2 points. This one is, and I also did a couple that were like more fun. I picked one that was Saquon Barkley and Kareem Hunt will be combining for 2+ touchdowns and 200 plus rushing yards. I think that's doable. Fuck, Saquon might actually do that himself. So like I picked that one. or Kansas City's going to completely shut them down, and like this is going to look like a very dumb bet. Another one that's one of my favorites, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce, and Saquon combining for 4+ touchdowns. So, I mean, if Kareem's going to get at least one or two for my other bet, I figured why not make this one, because it's the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce is going to get a touchdown in front of Taylor Swift. And A.J. Brown, like the Eagles haven't been throwing to their wide receivers a lot. They did in the last game, so like they got him moving, but I think that's a good one where they have to like become a passing team, and that's like a big like Jalen Hurts thing. Like that'd be a fun talking point for them to have to talk about the whole time. And then the last one, like to keep it entertaining the whole time, the last play of the game being a scoring play. I picked yes on that because like I don't know, I honestly feel like that goes hand in hand with the 2-point conversion attempt, and I don't know if that counts as like could be a field goal going in to put it into over, because it's for regulation, not in overtime, because obviously the last play in overtime is going to be a scoring play because that's how overtime works. Well, kind of, unless they shut them down, but more often than not, it's a scoring play. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. But yeah, I picked yes on that. I think it's going to be a very close game. I also could see Philadelphia having to run the tush-push for like a 2-pointer to get into overtime or something, or to win the game. So I think that's it. So those are all my bets there. Last play score, yes. Kansas City rushing touchdown to be their first score, yes. 2-point conversion attempt, yes. A.J. Brown, Kelce, and Saquon to get 4+ touchdowns. Tails, again, we'll know right off the rip. And then Saquon and Kareem getting 2+ touchdowns and 200+ rushing yards. And then a non-QB passing touchdown, which is the one we want to hit because we make a lot of money off of that one. Not a lot of money, but like a good amount of money. Like if I really believed in it, I would put more money on it. But I don't know. Bet responsibly. They're not even telling me to do it, but gamble responsibly. It's a very easy way to like lose. I know people who are addicted to sports gambling, and you don't want to get addicted to sports gambling because it's the dumbest thing to get addicted to. Like I would love to sports gamble on like baseball and basketball, but I don't know anything about it. And when I bet on football, sometimes it seems like I don't know anything about it at all. But those are my picks for the Super Bowl. Let's say I think the Eagles are going to win, but that's kind of who I'm going for. But again, if it's like halftime and the Chiefs are like blowing them out, it'll still be fun to watch the Chiefs win 3 in a row. It's a very good Super Bowl. For like people who hate Kansas City, it's a great Super Bowl because the Eagles could actually do it. For people who don't give a fuck about football, it's a very good one because you can watch it and not really give a fuck who wins because like, I don't know, fuck Philadelphia and fuck Kansas City. Like you shouldn't have that much success either. Like the Eagles were just in the playoffs the other 2 years ago. This is like when Golden State went against the Cavs for like 3 or 4 years in a row, where like the whole country was like, who gives a fuck? But like hopefully somebody finally beats them. It's kind of got that same like 2016 Cavs feel for the Eagles. So hopefully that they win it. I like Philly winning stuff. I like Philadelphia. I was there once. It's old. The streets are kind of shitty. Like you can make new streets. I know that you're Philadelphia and you're like the first capital in this nation, but like I don't know, fucking fix it. Like it's that old restaurant thing. Like you don't have to be old Philadelphia forever. Like yes, history is a thing, but like we don't need it to be. This is also the first Super Bowl that the president's going to be at the whole time, as far as I know. So I don't know if anybody's got like some sort of. I would never call for this, but this is just me saying if it was conveniently to happen. Like a hurricane hitting the Superdome again, that'd be cool. Like you don't want to see like all of those people go down, and especially the teams that worked so hard to get there. But like I don't know if just like somebody like Taylor Swift's a billionaire, if she happened to get her hands on like anthrax or something for the Super Bowl in New Orleans, that's a good spot to like release it. Is if Donald Trump's there. Also, if we keep saying things that say that they might be a threat to him down there, I need this to be very clear. I have no means to get to New Orleans. I have no means to get anthrax. But if somebody were to, so I'm not saying I'm going, I would never, attack the president. Like, that'd be stupid. Like, you can get so much more done by, like, attacking a local police department than trying to go after the president. Like, that's, yeah, he's the one who's kind of pulling this off, but, like, I don't know, you can get more done going after someone else other than, if you go after the president, you're dead. Like, you can make more noise going after a CEO of a healthcare company or a local police department. I'm just saying, if something were to happen to the Superdome, I don't know, and it's on television, like, hey, Hamas, it's the most watched thing in our country, alright? Like, if you want to make a point, taking down that traffic cone looking fuck during the Super Bowl, not a bad idea. Speaking of our benevolent dictator, Hitler Watch. Hitler Watch. I just realized I'm in sunglasses right now. The sun through the windows. Like, I know that this is impeccably lit for anybody who's watching this, because I remembered to turn my ring light on and the other overhead lights before I started. Pats on my own back. But it's like the hour. I'm recording later in the day than I usually do. This is when the sun comes through our window the most, is between like 2 and 3. Especially now that it's like winter time still and the sun's still going down kind of early, but it's staying out longer and longer. So that's why I'm in sunglasses, not just because I look cool. I look great in my sweater and my sunglasses, and like, I took a shower before this, so my hair's got like that perfect like curl after my shower there. But it's definitely, so I just remembered I was in them. Hitler Watch. This is a fun one. We'll start with kind of Hitler Watch for this week. The Department of Justice just had their lady get, their head, whatever, the fucking Attorney General, there we go. She just got, approved the other day, and one of the first things that they did is filed to sue Illinois, because Chicago is a sanctuary city, and because of that, local and state laws say that the police department cannot and will not and does not help ICE deport people, which is like, they had a giant problem. And shout out to Chicago, the czar, the fucking immigration czar, had to go on TV and say that like, people know their rights too well and are helping tell people that ICE are around. And like, because of that, they haven't been able to do as good a job. So like, shout out Chicago and shout out everybody getting in the way. But one of the biggest reasons is because the local police are not allowed to help them because it's a sanctuary city. So the Department of Justice is suing the state of Illinois to make the police department have to help them, which brings up a very big states' rights versus federal rights conversation. And hey, you fucking idiots who voted for Donald Trump and think that the Civil War was about states' rights, where the fuck are you now? That's what this, I mean, he's getting rid of states' rights, which is like fine. Like, I don't know, that's not, states' rights are important. It's kind of like a big part of the Constitution, is that states have their own thing, but like, federal law, I believe, supersedes state law, which is like, but also like, state law, whatever. You know, like, that's why smoking weed is still a federal crime, but like, it's not a federal crime to do, like, it's a federal crime if you take it from one state to the other. That's what they can get you for. I don't think that, like, I bet you they could get you for buying and selling, but whatever, it's like protected, and it'd be stupid for them to do it. So they're doing that, so like, they can fucking come through and use the local cops to help deport people, and if like, somebody happens to be an illegal immigrant that gets arrested, they can ice them out of there. So that's kind of the reason why we've been looking into defense lawyers, because I live across the street from a building that houses a lot of African immigrants, and no matter what I do, they were over there just fucking, like, I had to walk by them to make sure that nobody was getting hassled. It wasn't my fault. I don't want to. It's just, I have morals, and I don't know, it's not every day that you run into a real one, but from time to time, a real one does show up, and you have to walk the walk. And so I usually walk by and make sure that they're not hassling them. Now, if I know that they're working for the feds on deporting people, there's a very high chance that I will be yelling at them daily or throwing things at them or causing damage to their vehicle, because I don't want to cause damage to another citizen or another person. They're caught up in an illusion that they're protecting their country because they've got caught into there. And the war's not against the person; it's against the system. So we don't want to like injure police officers per se. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Like the best way to damage United Healthcare was to kill their CEO publicly. Like that's the best way to make the thing. Shooting a cop or like setting one on fire, like doing something to injure a cop, that's just rude, you know? I mean, fuck them. They're usually racist and use their power more than they need to. And like that's why they sign up for that job, is because they wanna put power against people who have no power. That's what they want to do. And those aren't good people, but they're still people, and you don't want to hurt other people. That doesn't help. Like if we're going for a righteous cause, we got to do the righteous thing. And if that means damaging police property instead of the police themselves, then so be it. Like we can slash their tires, you know, but that still puts you in jail. So let's get the legal fund put together. The Department of Education is also going to be shut down soon. So that's good. If you have children and you voted for this fucking idiot, like congratulations. Your kids aren't going to have public schools because that's where the funding comes from. And if you think that public schools are indoctrinating your children, wait until you see what private schools do. Good luck not having some sort of religious upbringing for you. And most of you, if you have kids, you might be religious and you might be fine with that. But when you have like a house full of Hitler Youth and they turn you into the government for not starting every day with the Pledge of Allegiance, then don't say nobody warned you. These last two are kind of lumped in. Oh, we'll do this one. The girl went to the grocery store today, and you know how he was supposed to make groceries cheaper. Eggs are more expensive. Eggs are $6 a dozen right now, and people were bitching about $4. So that's a 50% increase. And so I mean, I don't know. I thought groceries were supposed to be cheaper. They're not. And I mean, he's cutting funding to get rid of like WIC benefits and SNAP and all of that too. So shout out him for that. Chinese tariffs. Those are in action currently. I think it was 10% on Chinese imports. They are planning to do some tariffs of their own on our exports to them. So keep an eye out for that. The stock market will probably not change because it's fake. And I mean, they're not going to let it, like, they're definitely not going to let that, like, they'll kick them out of it, and, like, other businesses will be like, this rules, and then we'll find out that, like, the government is just oligarchical. Like, that'll be when the veil's finally off, and people will be like, my fucking, like, that's going to be the new thing. It's like, the stock market is up, 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 even though Hitler had, like, the market fail, and that's why he had to go into other countries and shit like that, because, like, he found out very quickly his shit didn't work. It's kind of happening now. And that kind of leads to our next one. He's also tariffing, he's going to put tariffs on the members of the ICC, the International fucking court thing. I don't know why I'm forgetting what the other C is for. International court. Yeah, it's the court that, like, we sent, like, when, like, Trump has a warrant out for him for war crimes. I don't think Trump does, because he slowed it down. But, like, George W. Bush has, like, a warrant out for him for war crimes. Like, the people who do it are the ICC, International Criminal Court. Why the fuck did that take me so long to remember? Shout out me. Anybody on the video, you'll see I didn't have to look it up. I just remembered it. It took me a second. But they're enacting tariffs against the countries and the people that they say are running the ICC, and making it against Christians, like making it anti-Christian, specifically on how the Israel-Gaza thing's going on, which, I mean, Israel is the Jewish state, so that's not anti-Christian, but he means him, like, going after the U.S., saying that we're sending weapons and all that stuff to help with the genocide. And shout out every single person, honest. Like, I've been pretty clear about my stance on Israel, Gaza. Like, we shouldn't be, like, yes, obviously don't have a terrorist attack against Israel and not expect to get fucked up. But, like, now, thousands of people are dead because of it. Millions of people are, like, moved. And I don't know, now Donald Trump says, with fucking Netanyahu right next to him, that the U.S. should occupy the West Bank and to move almost 2 million, or like over 2 million Palestinians out of there to rebuild the West Bank. And then, oh yeah, they're allowed to come back afterwards, wink wink, but to make it like a big tourist hotspot. So I mean, shout out every single person who was backing Israel. Like, I don't care if you're Jewish, like, obviously we love the chosen people. The state of Israel is completely different than the Jewish people, and I don't think that that's, like, a very complicated thing to say, or to act on. And yeah, sure, there are shitheads that will use any reason they can to be anti-Semitic, but when Israel's fucking up, Israel's fucking up, and that usually means that we're fucking up. But if you were backing Israel at all during this little soiree, this little genocide that they were doing, congratulations. You are now, you played yourself. Like, it's just very funny that the state of Israel, mostly Jewish people, are backing the next genocide. And backing the United States going in there and taking it over. So I mean, it's very crazy. That anybody who has ever been on the side of Israel can now, like, Hamas isn't good. Like we're very, unless they take out the Superdome and Trump with it. Like, you can't just do this. Like, you have to do both. If you just do the Superdome, then you're a terrorist. If you take out the orange fuck, then you're a hero. Okay, that needs to be very clear. Maybe we shouldn't release this episode. But no, like, they're taking over the West Bank, doing, like, legit Hitler shit, moving people out of their land to give his, like, that's one of the big things. Fucking realtors and people were selling land that was after the fucking Israeli army went in and were genociding Palestinian people. Like, developers were already in there trying to set up, like, new housing and buildings and fucking and residences and stuff like that. And that's what it's all about. Like, that's what they're gonna go set it up. They're gonna say that it's a new vacation place, that we're making it better for them, but, like, we're moving them out of there and doing it and doing legit, like, the mass movement and, like, the targeting of a specific group of people is a genocide, and it's state sponsored and it is sponsored by Israel. So, like, I don't know, good, shout out you for backing up Israel. Just because some shitheads might have been using the reason to be anti-Semitic, now you're on the side of people performing a genocide, and have been. And, like, shame on you, unless you come out and you go, hey, we fucked up on this, like, XYZ, this is when I was supporting it, I should have stopped then. Like, there's a spot for anybody to jump ship and be like, hey, this was all cute and fun, we wanted groceries to be cheaper, we wanted gas to be cheaper, we don't really give a fuck about anybody but ourselves, but, like, now we can see that nothing's cheaper and he's doing Hitler shit. Like, it's very easy to, like, jump back over, because they don't represent you, they don't want you to live a good life. You're not part of their crew. You are going to be working forever underneath their thumb, and that's just how it is. And they don't give a fuck about you whatsoever. And you are going to be further away from ever being able to be rich if you continue to let these fucking oligarchs run everything. And I don't know. That's just what it is. Again, I don't have any cure to this other than setting it all on fire, becoming a Chinese spy, which, like, they're also terrible. And, I mean, I don't know. There's no winning. Learn a different language, get the fuck out of here, go find a spot in the woods to hide, and just, like, hope that when the fucking bombs drop, you're far enough away from everywhere. Go find those, like, those people in the Amazon that keep killing all the Christians. Like, go hang out with them. Be like, yo, I want you to know that I will not tell you about Jesus at all. I just want to kick it. I want to integrate, I want to assimilate into your culture. I don't want to fuck anything up. I want to get rid of cell phones. I want to pretend like these fucks don't live at all. And then if another white person comes on here, I will help you kill them. So like, I don't know, I think we could do that. But no. Other than the world falling apart, I don't know, it's pretty fun. This made it almost to an hour. We thought it was going to be less time than that, but I guess Hitler Watch took up more time than we thought it would. At Ray Roberts Comedy on everything, rayrobertscomedy.com. I don't know, go set something on fire. Go set a government building on fire. At this point, they're all under the bad regime. There was a post of like outside the State Department, the flag was flying upside down. Who knows if that was like a real thing, but like, I don't know, that's how we're flying it. Because we're pro-America, and we are actually being occupied currently. This is a patriotic podcast. Anybody who wants to like pretend that they're a real patriot, would make sure that we fight for the other people that are coming to try to make this country great and trying to make their lives better. But if you don't believe in that, you don't believe in the American dream, and you need to go get fucked. So, there's your positive note. I don't know. Bye, guys.